Hello, Scott Stanfield here. It's my Friday, and I wanted to say, wow, I'm now live on LinkedIn, and this is also broadcasting on Facebook. So if you're watching in, I really appreciate it. This is going to be super fun, and I'm going to also put together, this is a recording, so I can put this up on different platforms. So it's my Friday. What is this going to be? There's going to be a daily show Monday through Friday. And I'm kind of going to break this down on what we're going to see and what we expect to see. Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And then obviously, again, recorded and put up. And so Mondays are going to be, let's see here, Mindful Mondays. Well, you are more likely to have a heart attack, 20% more likely to have a heart attack on Monday than any other day of the week. So we're going to work on Mondays being a little bit more mindful. So I'm a practitioner of transcendental meditation, and I do that pretty much once a day or twice a day since December 5th of last year. And so I'm in love with that. I have a very healthy addiction to doing meditation, and that's one of the things that can fall into the mindful category. On all these days too, what we're really going to tap into is tap into the pillars, the 8 pillars of being a modern longevitarian. And we're going to really cover those as we go, and I'll go over each one of those. So the first pillar of modern longevitarian is mindset, and that falls into being mindful. So the second is going to be 2 for Tuesday. Tuesdays happen to be the second most productive day of the week. Excuse me. I stand corrected, is the most productive day of the week. And so we're going to work on things like counterintuitive leadership or leadership in general, book reviews, productivity, how to really add fuel to the fire, how Tuesdays can really become your best day of the week. And, I worked in the restaurant world for almost 30 years. And so I know not every Tuesday is your Tuesday. Typically Tuesdays were my Mondays. And that's why I started talking about, this is, it's my Friday, because, everybody's Friday's different in the world that I grew up and worked in for a long time. Wacky Wednesday. Wednesdays are going to be really cool because, I'm going to talk about some of the crazy things I've done to myself as a guinea pig over the years. This next Wednesday coming, I'm going to talk about something today's day 19 of 28 of, and it's the first time I've ever done anything like this. I do different things like push-up challenges, and I have a jaw exercise, and I bite down on that thing to strengthen my jaw, and, those type of things. Do like I said, meditation and fasting. I've done an 86-hour water fast. I've done a lemon juice fast for 10 days. So there's all these things I'm really going to dig into. There's really kind of the wacky things in the world that you can do for your health or your leadership or just to have fun. Thursdays are going to be, it's kind of cliche now, but Throwback Thursday. This is the day I'm actually going to have a guest on the show, most likely. Most Thursdays I will. And I'm really excited to do that because I'm going to have, it's going to be different things. It may be somebody from my past, somebody from my racing career, somebody that gave me a leg up in my restaurant career. It's hard to say what exactly it's going to be and how this is going to go. Oh, hey, Mary. Smoking Mary is not Mary, but that's Laurie. Thanks for joining in. But anyway, I'm going to really on Thursdays, and heck, I might have Laurie on the show, and I talked to her about Smoking Mary Bloody Mary mix, which is a really cool mix, and we can talk about all the different things we can do with that. And so it's just going to be, just conversation style, maybe going deep in different subjects that I enjoy or have interest in or things like that. And those of you who know me know that I have a vast interest spectrum, right? I really love different things. And so it could be health. It could not be health. It could be Like I said, restaurants, leadership, food, different type of diets, longevity diets, vegan diets, keto, carnivore diets, all over the board, fasting, about the blue zone. So all kind of stuff like that. So it's going to be, oh, Steve Weber's here. Oh, hey, Nathan, how you doing? So thanks for you guys joining in. And Fridays, it's my Friday. That's the day I'm really going to hit deep on food, what I call the pillar called F3. So food, fasting, and feasting. And I love this quote that says, it's by Dr. Jason Fung. He wrote the book, The Complete Guide to Fasting. He said, our bodies, or we were designed for feast and famine, not feast, feast, feast. And I've lost 40 pounds twice. I've lost weight more than twice. And intermittent fasting has really been the thing for me that's really been the key. But I've added in a feast day, not a cheat day, but a feast day that's really been instrumental in not only me losing weight, but keeping the weight off. And so it's really a cool thing when you get into that. So today's show is obviously going to be talking about the F3, which I'm going to really talk about food and clean food. And I just recently, my business partner and I, we're working on this 100-day longevity primer. We're calling it the Jammer. And it's going to have a description of each one of these pillars in there. And I just wrote the one for the food, the feast, and famine just yesterday, actually, or two days ago. And it's been really cool to put all these things down into a really shorter platform than what I would normally just wax on about. But the first thing is that food is not as important as we have been told that it is. When you think about the order of which, the order of importance when it comes to things like oxygen. Oxygen, how long can you live without oxygen? That's going to be probably 5 to 10 minutes, right? How long can you live without water? That's going to be 3 to 7 days, depending on the environment you're in, depending on how hydrated you are when you started. 75% of us are chronically dehydrated, so that's not going to be a good start to this for most people. How long can you live without sleep? The world record on that, 17 days, I believe. No, that's water, 17 days without water, I believe. But, the world record, for sleep is not going to be that long, because think about this. You can skip a day of food, pretty much no problem. You can skip your exercises today, skip your workout today, but try missing a night worth of sleep. You're going to be a wreck the next day. So sleep's super important, and by far, I think the most important pillar of all 8 of them. Now, food, you look at into fasting. I've done extended fasting, a 21-day lower calorie fast where I had 10,000 calories over 21 days at the beginning of 2019. And David Blaine did 40 days of fasting. Jesus Christ fasted for 40 days. So fasting's been a part of, the ancient world and religions and cultures for centuries. And it's extremely important to give your body a break. And so food is nowhere near as important as we need. You don't need to have a midnight snack and then also have breakfast before you go running out the door the next day. Your body's designed to go a long period of time without food. And that's where ketosis comes in, and what your body, how it's designed to actually start switching from burning carbohydrates to burning fats is so you can go longer without food. But when you do eat food, it should be clean food. Now, what is clean food? That's really the question. Clean food is, well, most people think of how expensive organic food is. I mean, I would start with local. If you live in an area that has a farmer's market, I would be there first to buy your fruits and vegetables if you have that available. I would then, look at organic, but I would also probably just search out, and this is what I do, search out the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. Strawberries and fruits are going to be always on the Dirty Dozen because they have to spray so many pesticides on them. So you want to eat foods that don't have toxins in them. And long story short is whatever's on the Dirty Dozen list, you want to buy organic. Like there's very little difference between organic and a non-organic avocado. There's very little difference from that. Some wine from South America, like Malbec, they do very little spraying on them than they would versus wines in California. So just understanding what that is. So okay, organic, biodynamic, definitely non-GMO is what you want to really tap into, and then and make sure you're eating non-genetically modified foods. Then, if you're going to eat meat, you need to make sure that it is humanely raised. Whole Foods and even Natural Grocers has a grading scale. Whole Foods is 1 through 5, and the Natural Grocers, I just saw they have this silver, a bronze, silver, and gold. And you want animals that are not just grass fed, but grass finished, because that's their natural diet. You want also people are also food that is pasture raised, that is wild seafood that's wild caught. You don't want, factory farmed salmon that has color added in it, because that's one of the most toxic things you can get. Farm raised shrimp is pretty toxic as well. So you want to get wild caught shrimp if you're going to have that, or all wild caught seafoods. And it's probably a good time for me to talk about what, if you're going to eat out at a restaurant, how are you going to navigate that? That's going to be a tough one. It really is. Restaurants, for the most part, serve what's called conventional food. And conventional food is, all these things that I'm just telling you to stay away from. They're full with toxins, antibiotics, and other types of growth hormones, and by the way, when it comes to dairy, raw dairy, I know that sounds pretty scary because it's not pasteurized or homogenized, but we're huge fans of Redmond raw milk here in Utah. We actually use Redmond's red salt. Their clay, or not red salt, but their salt has little red specks in it. We use their clay, their toothpaste. I have some of their electrolyte, mix, which is keto, and it doesn't have any sugar in it. So it's not like Gatorade or any of those things. So just try to find and clean up your food that way. But how to navigate a restaurant menu, gosh, that's really a tough one. If the meats aren't grass finished, like it wouldn't be in any traditional steakhouse. I've worked at some really big name steakhouses over my years that served USDA prime grade steaks, and those that beef is really not healthy for us. It's tasty for sure. I've had plenty of it, more than I ever should have, and that wasn't something that I indulged in every day. But there were occasions I would splurge, and that's not really the best thing. But I'm just being honest with you about what I've done and what I've eaten and what those things are. But I don't anymore, right? I won't. I won't take that chance. My point being is this, if you eat, when you eat food, you have to make sure, if you want to be the healthiest you can be, and perform at your best day in and day out, you have to do what grandma and mom and your people told you when you were kids, is eat your vegetables, right? But it also makes sure that it's clean. So again, organic, biodynamic, non-GMO, also grass finished, humanely raised, pasture raised, and just wild caught when it comes to seafood. Now we can get into talking about sugar or macros and those type of things as well. And because I've been keto for 4.5 years, and I'm migrating more towards being about 90% or more plant-based now. And that means that I'm not really eating any meat, maybe one day a week. And that would be on my feast day on Sundays that I would have some meat. And excuse me. And but sugar, I just heard just 2 days ago that your body, my body, only needs about a teaspoon, 2.2 grams of sugar a day. And if you have one soda, you're going to get about 10 or more teaspoons of sugar. So there's no need to overindulge on that, because your body is designed to compensate for fuel by switching over to ketosis and burning fat. Anyway, that's what I really want to talk about today is talk about exactly, those things, what the show's going to be. It's going to be Monday through Friday. It's going to be 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to go over, congratulate people who've got new jobs that I've seen on LinkedIn. I'm going to congratulate people who are having their birthdays, put out some good news, what's on my mind, and then cover these topics. Again, the center of what I do is going to be these 8 pillars that don't cost any money, right? These 8 pillars exist. Mindset is number 1. Number 2 is your breath. Number 3 is hydration. Number 4 is sleep. Number 5 is movement. Number 6 is F3, which is food, fast, and feasting. Number 7 is going to be get uncomfortable, which is heat and cold exposure. And then number 8, get connected, which is get connected with the earth, touch the earth with your bare skin, like walk on it in your bare feet, and also get connected with your family and your community, your friends and your community. So those are the ones that, hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Those are the things that I'm going to be going over, but also making it fun, right? This is going to be really cool to go live Monday through Friday and take it from there. And then we'll be bringing up more information about the Jammer as we get close to taking pre-orders and rolling that out. Again, my name's Scott Stanfield. This is the Modern Longevitarian, and this is my Friday. And if it's your Friday, have a great weekend.